Everybody, welcome back to the Quantum Show, starting a few minutes early because I've got two whole pages of notes to get through. And as you can see on the title, what is my title? Fear, Aliens, Book Deals. Because that's what ufology in the mainstream is about, which I never thought anyone would want to say that string of words together at the same time. Mainstream ufology book deals. And it's now we're talking about a group of people here on earth that that want to make money off this stuff, and there's nothing wrong with that, but don't go, I mean, it's trying to sell books, and if you don't buy into it, you're not allowed in the boys club. you know I don't do that here. The links don't do that here, though. Thirdphase kind of wants you to pay for their movies on Amazon, and I'm cool with that. They're cheap. They're not like $50 to watch. They're like $6 or $7. Hey, Rachel, OB2 in the house. Thanks for coming by. Got a pretty good show. I've been thinking about this stuff all week long. Yeah, the whole fear mongering. Let me start with fear mongering, okay? Just stop with the reincarnation is a trap, Earth is a prison. Stop it, okay? It is not. It's, if anything, it's a proving ground for us. And I'm with a bunch of the people. Hey, everybody coming in? Yeah, mainstream, astrology book deals. Talking ufology. Hey, Raven. Hey, Renee. Joe. Tim. Thanks for coming to the Corner Show. Started a little bit early. I got a little bit of information. Oh, and also, if I go offline, we're getting kind of a little bit of stormy here. So if I go offline, I got my backup ready to go, who is uh my phone with I guess a fancy Amazon microphone, right? So if I go offline, give it a few minutes, the show is still going, I will get on secondary, right? That's my backup. So, yeah, and booksellers. Okay, I have a couple of booksellers. Let me see if I can make this work. I've got a couple of booksellers I want to talk about in regards to fear mongering. Just stop it, okay? This guy, right? Let me make sure I got my stuff put together right. Okay. Yeah. Whoops. What? Wrong one. I want to talk about this guy, David Icke. This is a general Google search, okay? Now, David Icke started out, I believe, in the late 80s, early 90s. He's a former soccer football player in the UK, and he was okay at it. He wasn't exactly I don't know if he was ever an A-lister. Monty, if you are out there, why don't you tell us about David Icke, the footballer, how you put him one time. Well, he has a book out, and let me bring up his book title. Yeah, let me just bring up the Amazon book list, right? He has some books out there, and I used to own, which one was it? Yeah, The Biggest Secret. I used to own The Biggest Secret, and I had Children of the Matrix from the library, which, okay, they're both fear mongering. He is a human. He cannot process everything going on. Neither can I, but I know not to be afraid of it. Okay. The Biggest Secret, and it was from 98. So that was late 90s, excuse me. And the other one was from, let's see here. I know that one was, when was this published? When was this published? I'm not buying it. I'm just showing it off. The Trap. Oh my God. Give me a break. Okay. Well, it was published back in the 90s also. Okay. And let me go ahead and like stop sharing this guy because I just want to bring him up. He talks about lizard people trying to take over the world. They're not. Okay. Here's why. Because these guys, now they could be considered ultra terrestrials, that they live here. Have you heard of the Silurian concept? The Silurians were beings that lived here that are not human, that basically went into hibernation through whatever means, and that are still here and want to take back the planet. That's not going to happen. Here's why. There are things. Now, this is what I have. I can't say I've experienced these guys. I know they're out there, but they're not how people think they are. Just because they're lizards makes them scary. It's pop culture, okay? And d- man, as I perceive it now, I know I always am saying personal experience first. Well, I've experienced the fear of this stuff, not them in particular. We'll get to that, right? But we're going to talk about the fear mongering. It's meant to sell books, it's meant to get you over to their camp, so to speak. And that right there is very cultish. We don't need that, right? I've heard a lot of people been talking in relation to these topics, right? About our tribal tendencies where we're scared we won't survive because they're different. They're going to kill us, hurt us, or take our stuff. So we can't survive. And that is like a mechanism in our monkey brains that needs to kind of turn off, right? That it translates to very bad things in the modern world. Back in when we were hunter gatherer days, sure, we needed that. We didn't in order to survive. But now we don't really need that. And that's what that's one of our fear buttons that these booksellers and writers, Lue Elizondo, David Icke. David Icke has been so non-mainstream. You know what? That we are fringe of the fringe. He's fringier than we are. David Icke is fringier than we are. He preaches fear and that we should go against every authority because they're always being controlled by lizard people, and they are not. Okay, they're not. I'm with Keith on this because there is that agreement. There are agreements in place, and that was one of the questions I meant to ask dude when I called, right? But I wasn't able to. You got to remember, it's like a dream state when you're doing that. It's like a dream state, and it's hard to remember, things to do, like checklists of things to do. You just want to live in the moment, to be honest. Let's see. So, and it's disinformation and misinformation. Lue Elizondo, David Grusch, those guys are touted as whistleblowers. They're not whistleblowers. They're human relations representatives. Okay, because they want people. They're another fear. What do they talk about? What does Lou talk about? Threat. They're demons. By the way, still not demons. I did remember to ask that. They're not demons. And Grusch really doesn't talk about a threat. it talks about the secrets being kept from us, which is true. We do have secrets being kept from us, but we don't need to be scared of anything. We're set up in a way, and just like normal humans, we're not satisfied with it. You know that old phrase, the grass is always greener on the other side. Well, all that misinformation about uh they're first of all, they're demons, and they're not demons. Give me a freaking break, okay? Come on, Lou. Grow up, dude. That's simplistic thinking. That is simplistic, and just because you can kill it with shotgun doesn't mean it's a rabbit, right? Everything dies with a shotgun. Yeah, everything can die with a shotgun. Not a dog man, not a Bigfoot. And I'm not looking at the chat yet, okay? I want to get these points delivered. This is my solo hour, okay? And Rich GUFON, shout out Rich Giordano GUFON. He had a show entitled I wasn't able to stay for the show. I was driving. It's just my life, right? Are aliens ghosts? They can be misperceived as ghosts, because I've heard of accounts of uh, uh people going through haunted houses. There was this one story that these kids were going through, I believe it was Penhurst, Penhurst. Yeah, Penhurst, right? It's a note I need to take. Links for everything I talk about will be after the show, available after the show. Okay, the story. What? I said safe. Oh my God. Nope. Wait. Sorry. Of course, this always happens, right? All right. They were going through Penhurst looking for a cheap thrill, going looking at being in a scary, spooky place, and it was daytime, right? Best I remember, it was daytime. And the group moved down a hallway, and one of their people kind of lagged behind where they were, and they were now it's dark, and they've only got these little flashlights smaller than like mine, right? Like double A flashlights, 2 batteries, not not bright like this one. This is a room lighter, let me tell you. But they were using Dollar Tree flashlights, and well, I don't think they had any cameras. I don't remember there being a picture, but one of their people kind of was lagging behind down this hallway, and the group looked back and they saw their friend, but they saw a tall mantis being hanging out behind him, and they called it a demon. It's like, hold on a second. Well, anyway, and they were like, come on, run, there's something behind you, and of course, since everybody's talking, nobody can be heard. It's just a big jumble of voices. And the kid was like, what? And he's just calmly walking along, this giant mantis behind him that they reported they saw. So that could be misconstrued as a spirit or ghost or demon in a place they said was a haunted house. Well, you got things like portals. I have experienced portals, okay? And I'm not going to go into my portal experience just yet. I have in other shows, reality jumping, uh, it, knowing that I did something, people, cats and people being dead and not dead, but then they're dead again, and then they're finally dead again, right? That's portaling, okay? Now, I didn't do it, but it just kind of was there. I guess I stumbled into it or something. And it's funny that I can recall any of it because it's just weird. But okay, now places like Penhurst, I believe it's an asylum. Places like Penhurst become portals with all that energy focused in on a spot, right? Now, this is energy drummed up by humanity, by really all of it. And we're the ones focusing it, and we don't even know it. So you got places like Penhurst, and all that energy focuses in, something happens. So maybe that's a big, like, an alarm for the extraterrestrials to actually look in and say, hey, what's going on down here, right? And sometimes they'll go down there in, I don't want to say a spirit form, but like a mental golem form or a projected form, because I don't think we've ever had pictures taken of a giant mantis yet. If we have, please correct me and show me where to look at the pictures, because I would love to see pictures of mantis people. I know they're out there. I made a phone call. Well, mental phone call, right? And next note says, still not demons. So I'm going to be emphasizing that for a long time, that they're still not demons. They're not demons. And by the way, they're not demons. Okay. Demons are demons. Aliens are aliens. And just because we're scared monkey brain idiots doesn't make them all the same thing. Okay. Not demons. I have a thing for that even. I actually made a thing for that. Where is it? Where is it? Come on. And it shouldn't be, it was like 2 shows ago, right? And oh yeah, here it is. Still not demons. Okay, just so everybody knows, still not demons. But back on track. I'm gonna keep saying that, right? Until until the idea goes away. Call me an activist if you must. The not demon pro alien activist. You heard it here on the Quantum Show. And okay, this whole lizard people fear mongering from David Icke, that has been going on for literally 30 years now. Do you all realize how long this has been going on? Where are they at? Okay, where are they at? I don't have an overlord telling me what to do. You know, I mean, I would have figured they're us here. We would have known if we're being run by lizards from the nth dimension. Okay, and that's another thing. They're not physical like we are here. Okay, even if they are ultra terrestrial, they're here but not here. Like the ancients used to say, they're here but not here. And if they are ultra terrestrial, they don't occupy the same frequency as we do. And they don't have the same protections as we do, because apparently they can't really interfere with us, right? At least not on a real scale, because, well, we're high. We are a higher. I don't know what frequency we're on, right? Compared to these other guys, but we're a higher power. We're tuned into this reality. Anything coming in from outside the reality is of a lesser power of a signal, if you could say that. Okay, when you tune in your radio, right, to whatever, and I'm talking about the old school dial radios, you can sometimes go to the left or right a little bit. I did a graphic for this a few shows ago. You can go from the left or right, and you can kind of hear what's going on in another channel. Well, they're a lower power, but on a different, they're on a different frequency, right? Now, if another signal comes in on our frequency that's higher power, we would know it. Reality would be interrupted. That has not happened. That is one of those laws of physics that I believe we haven't discovered yet, is that our frequency is of a certain power, and well, we're also manifesting it from every other frequency here, and we're importing it, kind of like putting it through a transformer or a rectifier or whatever, to put it in electronic speak, right? And re-implementing it here. It's like taking 120 AC, plugging in your adapter, and charging your phone with 5 volts DC, right? We're taking that power, a little bit of it, and making use of it here on our frequency. They're over there, they're over there, we're here, or they're way over there, or I don't know where we are, right? I just say we're on a frequency. They can kind of dip in, like we can kind of dip in to theirs, but we're not going to teleport over there because we're kind of locked into this. In that way, we are in a matrix, but this is not a matrix. Okay. At least if we're in a matrix, so are these guys. Any aliens, they're also in a matrix. And I'm not with the fear mongering, right? I'm not with be scared of lizard people because, well, we have experiencers here that have had very nice relations with lizard people. I have not. I've had very nice relations with mantis people. They're nice. The one I talked to was really nice. And there was, oh man, there was an operator or something on the line. And yeah, it was very, oh man, it was a very strange experience. But the guy was very courteous. And there was just too much information for me to process, right? But I owned those David Icke books. I owned Lue's book. Lue is like, we're under threat. We need to be ready for it from that perspective. We've been under threat for a million years. As long as we've been here, we've been under threat. And it's never been aliens until recently. It's always been what? Weather, alligators, lions, earthquakes. And now, since we're kind of figuring out how to deal with those things, aliens and nuclear bombs and stuff like that, right? And I need to dig more. I've forgotten so much about David Icke. I don't want to really say much, but I know that he was talking about lizard people trying to take over the government or inhabiting the people. I have to look back into it. I haven't read his stuff, well, since the 90s or the early 2000s. So it's been a while. I'm going to leave David Icke alone, but I'm going to go and say that he's more fringier than us, for sure, because he said his got now, yeah, people who, okay, he talks about, here's something I remember, right? He talks about the royals and the black eyes and stuff. Here's the thing. I have a note for that, okay? Here's the thing about that. When you dabble in the dark arts, and all the royals do, and all the politicians do, talking Bohemian Grove and all that stuff, right? When you go into the dark arts, you push more further your mind into those other frequencies, okay? And that kind of establish, I have experience with this, right? That kind of establishes a channel for two-way communication sometimes. And now I haven't experienced what they've experienced. I've experienced my own stuff. But it seems like when you go there, like, here's a good example: Ouija boards. Okay. You are focusing your intent on talking to whatever spirit's out there, and you really are not dialing in who you want to talk to. Okay. And it's an uncontrolled, open pathway for your mind to manifest a portal, because the Ouija board itself doesn't do nothing. It's like this lighter or this flashlight. you know, or this pen. This pen does not on its own write evil, mean messages to whoever, right? I have to use the pen. It's a tool, okay? Like my little screwdriver doesn't here down here. It doesn't do anything unless I make it put in a screw or take out a screw. It doesn't randomly rebel and say, I'm going to unscrew your computer, anything. It doesn't do that, right? You have to use it. You have to provide the intent. Now, what we do as humans is we have what I call the quantum link. We can start something, and it's not like a physical tool like we have here, like a screwdriver or a pen. We can start something and it will linger and it will stay open. Okay. So when the royals and the politicians and people start doing things like Bohemian Grove, Hellfire Club, um, I don't want to say Freemasonry because I think we misunderstand those guys. But Bohemian Grove, Hellfire Club, those are good examples, right? You start opening portals that can't really be closed, kind of sort of like a Ouija board. And those guys are into that kind of stuff. And yeah, there is some dark side magic. Not going to go there tonight. Okay. Not going to go there tonight. But guess that they go into. They do it. They do that stuff. And I'm not going to explain all of it because I no links. I'm dropping names like of people who sell books that want to scare you, right? And want to get you thinking this certain way. It's very, I don't like that, right? And I have had to resist because, like, I was falling for oh man, the propaganda on the internet right now is so crazy about just our dealings. I'm not even talking about ufology, just our dealings, pop culture. Oh, it's nuts. I can't go on YouTube or Instagram or nothing without seeing something about these movie stars, rappers, people interfering with a war. I don't want to know about it. I can't do anything about it. I wish I could. But it's just so they're pounding us right now. Drink your coffee, do your meditation, and separate yourself from all that fear. You don't need it. It's not going to serve you. Okay. And with those royals who Ike is referring to, they are into some freaky stuff. They always have been. And I'm not going to go into the whole history of the royals because it's a big history. And there are lots of conflicting reports, especially since they don't want anyone to know about it. And it's their business. It's their business. And they don't want anybody to know about it. So I'm going to go back to non-humans. Okay. Now there are non-humans. And I went to the Legion yesterday and I told there's a guy that is a member there. No names. I don't have permission. But I was telling him about, I told y'all the two gray-headed people, they kind of look like slightly different version of those girls in Gatlinburg. They were both about my height, and they both had this curly hair, but it was gray. And they both were like, aliens don't exist. We don't believe in aliens. Where's the evidence? And I'm like, you two are walking in here are the evidence. And I've never seen them again, and no one has either. No one else has either. Okay. Now, another encounter that I guess I can relate to because I told you about my encounter in Texas where they came to me and I feel I was being used for the breeding program. David Huggins. All right. David Huggins I'm done with David Icke for now. David Huggins has been a guest on many shows. I heard about him on UFO Garage. And I believe him. Okay, this guy, Love and Saucers, right? So he does have a documentary. You can buy books from him, but he is an artist. Let me tell you something I've noticed about the book deals of ufology. That's just kind of the script they want you to follow, right? And what does Hecklefish say on that other show? There's always a book. Yeah, there is always a book. You know what? This is my book. This is my book so far. And it's entitled Quantum Show started 8/4/24. Here's the cover. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I like it. I'll show it later. um, but Love and Saucers is his story of how he was used in the breeding program. And let me tell you, there was something I need to clarify and say I was put in what you call a fugue state, where it was in my head to be very compliant and listen to directions. Okay. His experience echoed that, except he was very more emotional during it. I don't know why. Maybe the stuff they did to him was different than the stuff they did to me. And he met this person. I'll let you, link will be in the description after the show, right? And he is a guy who has had an encounter very similar to mine, related content. I had that encounter. I barely told anybody over the years, right? And I don't. Again, let me just get him off the screen. Let me clarify. I don't feel like I was taken advantage of, because they put it in my head. You want this, and me, being a monkey brain human, wanted this when it was happening. Okay. And then when it was done, they turned that off and I was done and I didn't want it anymore. I don't feel like I was taken advantage of. I don't feel like I was forced, but for some reason they picked me and my ex. But much time later that we were aware of. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Now I got notes I'm following. Their limits are not our limits. We are much more limited because they, meaning aliens, have figured out. We keep thinking of them and giving them human characteristics. They want to invade. They want to take over. They want to. No, right? They don't, because if they wanted that, they would have, and we would be in a way different reality, right? But for some reason, they haven't. I believe it's because they are held at bay by our Galactic Federation buddies that want us safe, right? And their reasons, I don't know either, but I choose to believe that. And I gotta refer to the girl who was ghost whispering on YouTube, right? And dude, okay, now I'm starting to look at the thing, right? I'm looking at the chat. Yeah, that was who was doing it to me, and that's who did it with David Huggins, right? David Huggins, this person that he went with appeared to be more human than the ones I went with, okay? The ones I went with appeared to be in the same kind of fugue state I was in, because they didn't know what they were doing. They were just there in a habitat. So yeah. And okay, moving on, right? Their limits are not our limits. They have figured out somehow to reach through. Maybe we're doing it with CERN. I don't know. But we're being manipulated by our own people to be fearful. Our governments, our local, our local governments don't look at David Pratchett, right? Or Tim Pratchett, excuse me, Tim Pratchett. Link will be in the description because I am a Tim Burchett fan. I don't care what he does with roads and bridges. He wants ufology disclosure. And they're making him, just like every politician, they're making him play ball. Okay. I'm about ready to start campaigning for Tim Burchett for president. Tim Burchett for president from Tennessee. I got guns on the wall. What you got? You know, that's all right. I like Tim Burchett. But anyway, we project our own humanity on these things, on these others. They don't have the limits that we do. They don't have the motivations that we do. They definitely don't have the evolutionary traits that we do. Okay. Based on sightings of other people, you know what is not common? Hair. Not common. This is an evolutionary product of our environment. It's protective and it's hygienic, and it does all kinds of stuff for living on Earth. Okay. Me and DJ Tim, right? We talked about this. I was like, and I was really young, and apparently, Tim, you knew the answer many years before I did, and I hadn't studied this stuff yet. But I'm like, what is the point of eyebrows? This was 19, 20-year-old me, right? 21-year-old me going, what is the point of eyebrows? It seems so weird. Well, Tim explained it to me. And yeah, dude, I remember all these conversations that our eyebrows are there because we live in a gravity environment where we get dirty and we get hot and it drains down our face and it blocks that. And it's much easier to go like this than like this because something might be trying to eat us for the past 10,000 years, like it always seemed to be. And we couldn't do like that. We could go like that, but we couldn't do like that because that's like, oh, he's not looking. Bite. Dead. Dead, right? Saber-toothed cat. But, okay, they don't seem to need that thing, those traits like hair, okay? Hair. They didn't need them. We look at that as a normal thing. Everybody has hair, different conditions of hair, whatever, okay? And things like, well, you know, our physical traits. Okay, we walk upright. We walk on two legs. Not all of them do, apparently, because the Mantis people don't. They can if they want to, but they're kind of a multiped species, a hexapod, I guess, that have learned to be a quadrupod, you know, and it works for them. And by the way, our math is based on this. This is our base 10 math. It works for us here on Earth, right? Base 10. Let me tell you, the math of the universe is not base 10 math, okay? It's base 3 or base 6. Some crazy shit. Not going to go into it right now, right? I've got notes I'm going to follow. Now, I did talk about the royals and the politicians using dark side stuff. That's true. Okay. Now, when you establish a portal and you get two-way communications going on, that changes the variables a little bit. You and us here, at least I hope none of us here have a portal open to the dark side people, right? There's a crystal for that, and an herb, and an incantation, and a talisman, and a glyph. Don't do it. Don't use the dark side. Talismans, herbs, glyphs, do all that good stuff. It's good. Grounding. But you just close that door. You don't need it. Trust me. Okay? And even the nice guys who you establish portals with, they can kind of be problematic too. Okay? Man. I remember I was wanting to get in touch with this local practitioner here in Nashville. And, well, she has a portal open. I was electronically reaching out to her. Empathically, I was also reaching out to her. And well, she's got her wards and glyphs up. And I was like, I do this empathic stuff instinctually. I don't mean to. It's not like I'm going to spy on somebody with remote viewing. This is just something that happens, right? And I'm trying to not do it so much. But I was, and I was sitting here, literally sitting here, and I was typing her an email, and I was thinking really hard about her and just wanted to talk to her. I wanted to have her as an interview. I will link after the description, right? She's got a thing that she does. And she's got a thing that she does, and I'm going to leave a link after this show. Okay. Her name is Kay, or she says her name is Kay, right? And I was reaching out to her. I was sending her a message. Just say, hey, I'd like you to come on the show sometime. Would you like to do it on Instagram or something? Because that's the way she communicates. And I hadn't sent the message yet when I think I've told this story. On the back of my arm here, I was kind of dressed like this. I don't think I was wearing, I was a t-shirt, right? It felt like someone took a knife, a sharp point, and jabbed it into my arm. It hurt so bad. I literally jumped out of this chair going, ah, and yelled and looked over like, what in the hell? Literally, this thing jabbed me or stuck me or stung me or something. And I heard in my head, she's mine. Like, she's mine defensively. I'm like, I don't want her. I just want to talk to her. And well, the entity presented itself as Loki. I gave it the form of the guy from Marvel movies, right? And TV shows. And I was like, Loki. And I remembered who I was dealing with from, studies and stuff. It's like, stroke his ego. And I did. And he backed off. And I was like, I'm not trying to take your acolyte, whatever, right? I just want to talk to her because, I want to be familiar. I just want to talk to her. And he backed off and we had a little conversation. That was pretty cool too, right? That was pretty freaking cool. And I gotta say, that was a very cool experience. Even though he stung the heck out of me, I mean, it was like I literally jumped out of this chair, bumped, all this stuff fell down, okay? Because I bumped my side on this thing, right? He jabbed me in my arm so bad to get my attention. And it worked, okay? And there was no one physically here, but in my head got put, she's mine. And I kind of took over the manifestation from there. At least I like to think I did. Don't tell Loki. So, yeah. Going back, the politicians and the royals, they routinely deal with dark side stuff. They shouldn't. They think they're entitled to it. They think they can control it, and it doesn't work that way. Okay, they're not King frickin' Arthur, and this is not Merlin they're dealing with. This is not an interpretation of something they don't understand. And okay, the people who do great at this stuff are people who have self-discipline. I'm not talking the politicians of the royals. I'm talking about practitioners like you and I. You know what? It sounds silly. To me, it sounds silly, but I literally go by the Star Wars Jedi Code, which is based on Middle Eastern. It is or Eastern, whatever. Middle Eastern, it's based on that kind of stuff. Personal honor, personal integrity, Jedi Knight stuff. And it seems to work. It is some sort of structure that you can use to get in touch with others. All right. And if you have the wiring for it, and we all do, we just got to turn it on, right? Through meditation, through, believe it or not, fasting, and I can't remember I'm having a trouble with this word. Voluntarily abstinent, right? Here's what that does. When you fast, you are clearing out your system and you're literally healing yourself. Okay. That's what Ramadan is all about. And they just say it's for religion, it's for health reasons. It's to keep the people healthy. And it works because we're eating, and okay, this is like a little aside, right? Fasting, it helps you to cleanse what's there, let the systems get rid of it, and then your energy centers can start with a fresh palette. You know what I mean? When I go to make notes and stuff, I don't go down here, right? I go to a blank. I purge all the blank. And the abstinence, what that does, I can't believe I'm talking about this, right? Is what that does is it lets your energy centers pump up. Okay. It lets them retain what's there and it distributes. And there you can, I don't know the word. Maybe I know the word, but I don't know if it applies. You can produce Kundalini. You can experience Kundalini. I've done it. It is so cool, crazy cool. I felt like I could climb a mountain, move a mountain, right? I felt I could fix everything. I felt I could go anywhere. I had all this energy when my Kundalini was opening. It was crazy cool. I loved it. I've only had that one time. And let me tell you, it only takes one time. And it started unlocking a bunch of other stuff. And that's how we are here. Because that Kundalini thing happened a long time ago. And I was like, whoa, what? Lots of experiences here. Right. But now that's the self-discipline. Those royals and those politicians think they have that. They think they have the self-discipline. And in a way they do, but they don't know. When they grab that tiger by the tail, they think they can tell that tiger what to do. They cannot. Okay. And someone who has some people in pop culture that we should all know, Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, they have a very good working understanding of manifestation, intention, and it's British comedy. I love them. I love those guys. Neil Gaiman, if you've heard of the Sandman trilogy or Chronicles, Sandman stories, and Coraline, very neat, very good movie. I love Coraline. Okay, that's great. And American Gods, and then he gets all this material that he's developed inspired by Terry Pratchett Discworld. And Terry Pratchett, link will be in the description. You know what? Link will be in the description for a book list for those guys. Okay. Let me write this down. Hold up. A little bit of real weird noise. They were friends. Terry Pratchett and Neil Gaiman were friends. Terry Pratchett passed away. Neil Gaiman's still here. And Yeah, I don't have a link ready right now. Wow, 49 minutes? Got a whole nother page. I'm bouncing around. I'm trying to. Oh, by the way, not demons. Still not demons. Still, you know what? I need a post for this. I need a post for this. There we go. Still not demons. I checked. Gotta love it. Read this. This is forever. Okay. And when you see a demon, see if you can find a spaceship because I bet you can't. Okay. Uh Lost technology. I've got notes, right? Lost technology, ancient humans. We're all familiar with the idea of the pyramids, Pumapunku, and all the ancient megalithic things that we can't rework. How? How they do that? How they do that? You know, we still don't know. We still can't reproduce it because if we could reproduce it, we would have. If we could build a pyramid, we would have. And I don't mean the Bass Pro Shops in Memphis. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. I recently saw a thing from Sunday Cool. Yeah. Amy, shout out. Alien Girl, shout out. Good Morning UFO. Because what are we after? Oh, I gotta clean this cup up before I show you. The bodies, the documents, the craft. Tastes like disclosure. Remember that? I love it. Okay. There are it was Sunday Cool. I will leave a link that they said they reported that people were detecting plasma clouds over the pyramids. And I need to figure out, and they were talking about Tesla, and yep, shout out, hey Diane, welcome back to the Quantum Show. Thanks for coming by. Yeah, I her shows are fire, y'all. Link in the description as always. So, oh, I need to grab that. It appears that the pyramids still work, but a couple of components have been parted out. We should really get those things working again. And the ones in Egypt are not the only ones that we can look at. There are ones in Mexico, and you know who is in control of. And I think there was one in Oklahoma or something. I don't remember. They're literally littering our planet. I know they're in Ohio. They got some in Ohio. Or was it Illinois? I'm not sure. They went somewhere. Aussie, thank you. Yeah, I keep forgetting to do that. Please share, and subscribe. If you're here, you're quantum because of all the internet, of all the cat videos. You ended up here on the Quantum Show. Thank you, Aussie Tiger. Oh, been here since day one. Thanks, all y'all. Okay. And so buying books, the book deals. This is where the narrative comes in. Lue Elizondo. I don't think David Grusch has got a book yet, but I won't doubt he will have one soon. I haven't kept up with Grusch. However, Lue Elizondo, if you've been paying attention to ufology, right? Lue Elizondo has been talking about he was sent on protocol to talk to us, right? The general public. Of course, not us, because we're the quantum ones, okay? To get us to think there's a threat, and they want to pump up the military and Space Force, which is a real thing, okay? Well, I'm sure we all know this. And like become a defense against aliens. You know what it would be like? The Roman army going against Transformers. That's what we would be like. We would be like going like the Roman army going against these giant AI robots. No chance, okay? Don't provoke. Don't. Don't provoke them, okay? I don't want Optimus coming after me or Megatron or any of them. I don't want them messing with me. And on that note, I would like to shout out again our Keith Andrews, who may or may not be on the panel later. I don't know. I never know. It's the nature of the show. That there's something on the way here, and well, it should be about 10 years out now, maybe 15 years out. Because I remember hearing about this about 5 years ago, that not our defenses, but the people who want to shield us are defending against something coming from somewhere else, right? He calls them like the Borg or the replicators from Stargate, where they're an advanced AI, basically like the Transformers, but not the story of the Transformers. But they're like the Cybermen or the Borg or the replicators who gobble up a place and use the resources. So I'm on board with that idea, right? And I've done shows about why are we developing AI? It's not to sell stuff on Amazon. It's not to, they don't care about what we're doing, right? Some people do, but that's kind of a cover story, and that's kind of an easy out to explain government stuff to advance AI. It's not humans against humans. That is a test. That is our own kind of proving grounds to make sure these guys, our AI, are able to deal with AI, because those things coming, as far as I've been explained, are AI. I refer to our Keith Andrews channel in the links below. And yeah, I'm really into the AI scene, right? Okay, I have about 5 more minutes left for the solo. I have covered everything, and I'm so glad I drank 2 cups of coffee before I started, right? Mantis People, personal sightings, David Huggins, Keith, I would like to hear your Mantis encounters again. Pointed questions, interview type questions. Our bias and context, magic spells, spell work, and intention. We went over that slightly, talked about the Ouija boards and the royals and stuff, and how we actually manifest stuff. Okay. Portals, self-discipline, Neil Gaiman, Terry Pratchett, lost tech, ancient humans. Didn't touch on ancient humans too much, only that their remnants are still here. Atlantis, very near and dear subject. Antarctica, love that topic. I've done 3 shows on Antarctica so far, and I'm probably going to do more in the future. Okay. Oh man, I did say the one thing that I'm going to be talking about for a long time. Still not demons. Okay. If anyone has a problem with it not being demons, tell them to come like and subscribe, because they're still not demons. Doing their review. And that's a note. That's a note. Not demons. Still not demons. And lizard people, there are different people. Just like you can't say all humans are one goal humans. We're not. We're not. This guy over here wants to raise horses and cattle. This guy over here wants to build ATVs and stuff. I am neither one of those guys. I want to build robots and investigate the paranormal. These guys don't. If the aliens or somebody comes over to me, they're going to see this guy is just in it for a hobby, and that's great, right? That's great. If the aliens come down, they're going to go, "Oh man, you promised us coffee," because I did. It's ready right now. So, by the way, they haven't come by yet, and I'm still expecting it. I mean, they have a quantum welcome mat and a key to the front door. Well, they can't fit, so I'll have to take it out to them. I've got cups. Aliens coming by, if you want to come by for coffee, I got cups. We can all have coffee. Okay. Went over a little bit about ultra terrestrials. And I wanted to talk about that guy. Let me see. I did cover Love and Saucers. Okay. I covered Lue Elizondo. I covered a little bit of David Grusch. He's not a whistleblower. He's a PR campaigner. So is Dave. So is the other guy I talked about. Dave Burchett, Tim Burchett. Team Burchett. They should name a spaceship after him. The USS Burchett. I'll name my spaceship after him. Or my hovercraft. The Burchett. I will call it Burchett's Ride. And then I'll go visit him. Hopefully he won't shoot me out of the sky. Like, yo, man, it's me. I'm from Nashville. Get out of my district. Bang, bang, bang. Oh, no, dude, don't shoot me. Neil Gaiman, human bias, context bias, science ability and limitations, undiscovered physics. Man, what a show. And I managed to wrap it all together. Hit thumbs up, because this has been a good one. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and say this has been the Quantum Show. Thanks, everybody. We're here over an hour. And I did the review. We went over a bunch of stuff. And don't fall for the fear. Use your crystals, amulets, herbs, incantations, protective spells, tie your ribbons, do all the good stuff. Don't give in to fear. Yeah, get off my lawn. Oops, get off my lawn. It's Tim Burchett. I hope you guys had a good time. I had a great time. Oh, thank you, Diane. Okay, now I'm going to go look through the chat. I know I didn't look at the chat the whole time. And everybody said hi a lot. And let's see here. Yeah, I want to see Lou testify at the UAP hearing in November. I want to see him even attend. Okay. Going back, everybody saying hi. Okay. Hi, Dorothy. Welcome back to the show. I'm wrapping it up. I'm going through the chat right now. And we seem to be on a frequency that's grounded to this 3D matrix sometimes, right? But so are they. They are just on a different frequency, but we're still in the same frequency set. I don't know. That's my term, right? Frequency set. Okay. And welcome to the show. I'm looking at your ZZK Bree. So what is our secondary? Probably action figures. I don't know what the question is, right? And okay, Ike talks about the danger, but also talks about reclaiming your pride. It's us going to them, which is the hard thing. When we go to them, it's like a fish out of water. When they come to us, it's the same deal. When we go to them, we have to keep our mind about us and our logic, and it's really difficult to do that because it's happened to me a couple times. And all that translates from David Icke to the public is be scared. It's not his fault. The people don't want to hear anything past be scared and don't want to hear the next part says, here's how to protect yourself. They don't want to hear that. They want to hear, I want to be scared. That's what they want to hear. It's not David's fault, right? So that's what the people hear. When the government says something, all they know is fear. And when anybody comes out and says, that's all they know is fear. Okay, that's all everybody, I said it earlier, everybody wants, they can't look away from the train wreck. Nobody wants to, it's happened to me. I was so freaked out this time. And this had nothing to do with aliens. There was a dog in the road and he had some kind of contraption on him, like he was being used as a plow puller or something, right? And this poor dog was in the road and there was traffic. There was a car coming and it's late at night. My car was sitting over here with the lights on, so I know he saw that, but he didn't hit the dog. Thankfully, I was just like, what? Oh, I can't look, but I can't look away. That kind of thing. Everybody hates to watch the train wreck, right? And okay, yeah, I don't do fear based. I just won't. I refuse. That's what it takes. It takes a conscious decision to not use your fear buttons. Take some discipline. I learned Buddhism to get over that. Okay. And that's what people want to hear because they respond to it so well, right? Not that David is a fearmonger, but that's the only thing people seem to hear, you know? And yeah, me too. I know at least one, and none of them want to come buy coffee. I don't know why. For real. You think I'm joking? It sounds like a joke. And yeah, OB2 saying once the light is shined in the dark, it's not so scary and better choices. Yeah, and we are the light. We are the light. We can literally do that. I'm waiting for some I'm waiting for some opportunity to go to a place that they say is ultra haunted, like that SmugPuppy. SmugPuppy will be in the description after the show, right? Haunted place, right? They're in England, I believe, and they have this thing. Portals are opening up, and there's this shadow thing poking out from behind doors and window sills and things like that. I would love to go into a scene like that because apparently I have the mental discipline and the turned on circuits to deal with that kind of stuff. I would love to go into there, right? Just to see what happens. And got Zick Bree, Zick Jabri. I don't know what this name is, Bree. Welcome to the Quantum Show. Good to see you here. Hit like and subscribe. I hope you feel that this show brings you some kind of something, right? For reality purposes only. And everybody, yeah, I'm going through Okay, that's a human perspective. Okay, that is a human perspective. That is it's our bias. We're born with it. We can't help it. Power looks for power. Powerful humans look for more power over other humans. I have to say that, right? And Joe, yeah, Ouija board stupid, never did one. Going to a cemetery at night, never will. I did that. I don't want to go back. Not in the night. I did the Ouija board and it didn't work. Nothing happened. It was just a bunch of us idiot kids. And yeah, it's an open door. It's like, hey, here I am, no filter, come on. And you don't want that. You don't want that. Yep, me too. Love Tim Pratchett. Okay, Sarah. Alrighty then. I was talking about evolutionary things. Okay, I will go with that. That sounds pretty quantum to me. And I had a metaphor that Tim agreed with. Cool. Base 36912. Yeah, maybe. I don't know the Markovians. I should have broke out Keith's book, the races book, but I didn't this time. I didn't break out any books this time. And maybe, I mean, I was actually talking about Tesla stuff because he was saying I don't need a link for Tesla. You just look up Tesla, you will find everything, right? I was talking about Teslas. If you understand 369, you understand reality. I don't know that yet. Okay. Yeah, I saw the Bigfoot hat. Love the Bigfoot hat, Raven. Yes, 36912. Yeah, numerology based on that. Yeah, definitely. Right. And it is obscene that they think that. I know. Then you have rebellion. Alrighty then. Right. They think they can buy a clean conscience, but that feather weighs the same for them as it does for anyone else. Yep, it sure does. And I believe I've covered all the stuff, and I need to. Oh, Samantha Morris Cat. Hey, I did not see you come in. I'm sorry. It's the end of the show right now, and I think you. I don't know when you. That was. Oh, that was a few minutes ago. So I know Monty's out there going aliens. I'm like, heck yeah, aliens. And don't be scared. So thanks everybody. That has been the first hour solo quantum show. Hope you are leaving with something more than you had before. Went over all that stuff. And the panel is going to be interesting. I don't even know who's going to show up, right? I have to talk to people and pass out links, create the other show. But you know what? Amy and I are out of coffee, and this cup ain't going to fill itself. So I'll talk to you soon. Break time 20, 30 minutes. You know the deal. Okay, talk to you soon. Out of here. Keeping it quantum. And we're doing what? Pushing buttons. Pushing buttons. Got buttons to push. Pushing buttons. I hit the button. I hit the button. It says